Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Now I thought I'd add a bit of a cringe to my YouTube content, given that it's probably been over a year and a half that has been very value-based, right? But why not add a bit of a cringe to the YouTube channel? And I've got my very sweet girlfriend here.
Cringe partner.
I'm forcing her to do this. She told me she's doing it against her will, but it's gonna be a good one. A few days ago, I asked you guys to ask your questions for the couples Q&A, and we're gonna do our best to answer them. We've selected a few, and let's get right into it, shall we? So the first question is from Adrian, and I've got quite a few questions on this topic, so I'm gonna leave all the questions around this topic on screen. But the question is, how do you both manage to have hard work through and keeping the relationship good? So essentially, how do you manage to keep the balance between your work life and your personal life? So, do you wanna?
I mean, I think you have a pretty clear schedule, so that helps a lot. I think to have a very,
I think like the key is really to make sure that you schedule in time for the personal and schedule in time for the work, right? Obviously, you can have the spontaneous times here and there where you just spend time with each other, but having boundaries and setting boundaries. She's doing her own shit. She's a really busy girl as well, and I'm doing my own shit. And I think as long as you guys have boundaries and you understand what those boundaries are, everyone understands the schedules, and you have time during the day to come together if you guys are living together or popping into each other's home every once in a while. I think having that schedule is quite important.
Yeah, and it helps to have like quality time, not just like be around each other all the time, but not like really being with each other, So.
Mm-hmm. I think you talk about a lot about the fact that people are so obsessed with like the quantity of the time, right?
Yeah.
It's not so much the quantity, but the quality of that time.
Yeah, like when you are with each other, like be present, not being working while you're with.
I think that's key, especially like as entrepreneurs and people, same thing for you, people who have a lot going on. It's really easy to it's really hard to get your mind off work when you're in the personal side of things, right? And I think if you can do that, that should be the focus instead of the amount of time, but instead of the amount of time, the focus should be how can I make sure that I'm present the time that I am with my loved one, with this person.
Also because our type of work is very you need to go very deep into focus, so switching off it's very difficult.
Yeah. Do you want to tell them what you do?
I'm writing scripts at the moment for the cinema industry, and also I'm running kind of a pharma, developing nutrition products, healthy products, so both worlds.
Cool. So that's the first question. Now the second question, honestly I haven't chosen the order, but I just took a screenshot as they came. But the second question is, are you a jealous type? Sometimes. This is aimed towards me. She's pretty, and you guys are, and she's got a bunch of emojis. You can see it on screen. I don't know what she means by these emojis, but
penguin.
I don't know. But look, I don't know what she means by other guys are. I think a certain level of jealousy is important. I think that's normal. I feel like in previous relationships I haven't been jealous at all, and that's probably not that's probably not good. That's probably not good, right? So I think a certain level of jealousy is important because obviously you care about the relationship and this person. But I think we've done a really good job at being very honest with each other, and we both know that we could be very well off alone, and if we came together, it's because we generally have a common goal, right? And we generally want this.
Also, the thing you once told me about people who believe that abundance is what you I don't know if you remember that. It was a very good explanation about this. I'm gonna say it in Spanish, okay? But you can translate it.
No, but you can say it.
No, porque cuando me dijiste lo de que la gente se piensa que las personas que ponen los cuernos son las que tienen muchas chicas, es como que tanto tú como yo.
Yeah.
No sé cómo decirlo en inglés.
I mean, this mostly applies for guys. I think guys see being able to have other women or being able to be attractive to other women while they're in a relationship. They think that's abundance, and it actually is the complete opposite in my opinion. And I mean, this is not just my opinion. I think it's based on the fact that this person is just insecure, right? And so if none of us, if you know, we both have abundance in that area, which actually means that if we want this, it's because we generally, you know, we're not insecure. You know, we generally want it. Yeah, we're not insecure about like whether she would cheat or I would cheat, right? So I hope that makes sense. I think, yeah, a lot of guys also, and I did this in the past, by the way. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like a lot of guys use oh, I want to keep my girl on her toes, or I want to keep my guy on his toes. You know, by seeming like I've got all these guys or all these girls that still chase me. And I think that's just like is bred out of insecurity. And if you don't have those insecurities, and if you are genuine with each other, I don't think that should be something that's on your mind.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. How do you guys communicate with each other? How do you trust each other? You want to take this one?
No, I mean, I think communication is the key, and to say everything clear, and yeah, like, I don't know, I think it's very, very important, and we do it very well. Like, we don't keep anything for us, and we say the things at the moment. Like, if something annoys me, or if something I'm feeling, whatever, just sort it out in the moment, not like keeping a back of things.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like, I think you know, it kind of looks it would look very weird from an outsider view, but when we get mad at each other, like, we actually verbalize like you know, us becoming angry. You know, like, it's not like, you know, obviously sometimes we do, right? But we try to not hold anything inside and like keep a backlog of it, and then, you know, at the next chance, like, have it come out, we just like verbalize it, we take it out, we externalize it, we talk to each other about it.
Yeah, and most of the times, maybe it's something I misunderstood or you misunderstood. It's way better to say it at the moment, and you can say, oh, but I meant that. Ah, okay, so then, and it's sorted out, and you forget about it, you know. Otherwise, it's just growing in your head, and you make stories and whatever. But
and you just, it
messes everything up.
Yeah, 100%. Cool. Next question is how to handle girl in life without losing focus on work. Again, I think that's kind of what I already spoke about. But as long as, you know, here's the thing: the right girl will actually fuel you and propel you forward rather than take away from you, right? And so.
Water.
She'll get some water, but while she does that, I think the right girl will actually fuel you and propel you forward, and not suck your energy or take away time, right? If you have truly chosen out of abundance, and because you don't need this relationship but you want it in your life right now because you are good yourself, you're already good, and so you're ready to attract or to get, you know, to bring someone into your life. I think you shouldn't, like, you know, get rid of your focus. Sure, it might take away a bit of time from work, but again, it's, you know, it's the same thing with relationships, right? It's not about the quantity of the work or the quantity of the hours that you put into the work, but the quality of those hours. Are they deep focus work? Are you tapped into your creativity? Are you, you know, working on the right projects or the right activities at the right time, etc., etc. But at the same time, one of the things that I would say as well is, if it's not the right girl, and if you went into that relationship not in the best of mindsets, then it might actually do more harm than good. It might actually distract you from your goals. So what I would say is, you know, first focus on yourself, right? Regardless of the work, first focus on yourself, and once you are at a point in your life where you are not satisfied, right, but where you think you've already done, where you think you already have a bit of self-awareness, right, then you can start bringing people into your life. All right, we're back. Next question is, how does she handle with, and by the way, I asked this in my Instagram stories, that's why a lot of questions are focused around me, but essentially the question is, how does she handle with your work schedule?
Actually, it helps me a lot, because I mean, there was another question, so I answer it now, that it was like, what's something I really like about you, or I admire, or whatever, and it's your discipline, you know, so it really helped me also, because I'm also disciplined, but more lazy in some aspects, so being around someone who has like a very tight schedule and he goes like on the top all the time, it really, really helped me, so I actually really like it.
I mean, I wouldn't say you're lazy though.
Not lazy.
It's just you're more creative.
More creative, yeah.
You just flow more.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have, and that's one of the things that I've learned from you as well. Is the fact that, like, sometimes you gotta flow more. Like yes, at like 6 a.m. you have this thing, but like what maybe you're feeling a different type of activity or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a good combination.
Okay. Next question is, did you guys smash on your first date?
No.
No. In fact, I would say like it was a
very weird first date.
Well, it was a weird first date, but also we didn't like really have intimacy until
a long time
into the seeing each other.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I think that's actually quite important. Like I think.
I think most of the girls think that they need to give it fast because otherwise the guys are gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna go with another girl. But I think you really need to listen to your body and do it when you're ready, when you really want it, when you really feel it, not just because you feel pushed or you feel like. So yeah, just being genuine.
Yeah, genuine.
With,
yeah, for sure. Cool. Is she your co-worker? No, she's not. We do have a few projects online that we're gonna be working together on, but no, she's not my co-worker. She's doing her own thing. She's killing it at her own thing, and I'm just doing my own thing. What's your girlfriend's name? Yeah, but I don't think I introduced you. Yes.
No.
Okay.
Do you want to do it?
What's your name?
Okay, my name is Augusta. In Spanish is Augusta. And I'm not sure. I mean, there's a master golf course.
Yeah.
Named Augusta, and I really think that my father gave the name because of that. But he will deny it. But
sure.
I
think how many Augustas are there in like Spain or in the world?
I haven't met anyone, and
if you're watching this and your name is Augusta,
please
comment down below.
Comment
down below. We want to meet you.
I want to find you.
Cool. What's your ideal date night?
Not going out.
We're pretty we like a lot of different stuff. Like we from like more very we're both very active, very like adventurous, I would say. But at the same time, like sometimes we just want to chill. So like I think it ranges from like a good sushi night with like some candles and good wine, which is very basic, and maybe like a nice movie, to like going on a road trip, or I don't know. It really just depends.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think variety is the key.
Exactly.
That's the ideal date night. How do the shared finances work? We don't like share. I don't know what you mean by this, but like we don't share like finances. We just like, I think it's just like very casual. Like I'll pay for this, she'll pay for that, I'll pay for this. Like it's just a good balance. I think it just comes naturally.
It flows naturally.
Yeah. What was the most romantic date ever?
The surprise one?
I don't know.
So he came by surprise one day because I'm living in Barcelona at the moment and he's in Madrid.
Yes.
So I wasn't expecting that because I never told him where I live actually. So I was in the gym at 8 o'clock in the morning and I came back with like messy hair, like sweaty, I mean, worst day ever, and my house was, anyways, and he was there in the door, like inside the house. So someone opened the door and it was,
yeah, that was good.
I was shocked but super happy, like very, very happy. And we spent the whole weekend, actually, we went to Andorra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Will you guys marry? So I think, look, I'm not sure how I'll answer this question, but one of the things that I'll say is like, for me right now, I think you share the same idea. Is I think like we live in a world where divorce is at an all-time high. Like people get into relationships and they leave in like a few months, and going into this relationship, like it was either I enter something that is serious, that has a future, with a future in mind, or I don't. Because why like invest time into something that doesn't have a future? Sure, you can have fun, but like, look, you can already have fun in your own personal life. You could fuck around with like other people, and for me, like it was either I do this and I like go into it with a mindset of like I wanna, have a future with this person, or I don't. So that's.
But I think there's a common mistake, which is going into relationship and the thing that will you marry her, like it's like to make a check, but you shouldn't aim for that, to make the check of we're married. You should aim to build something, whether you get married or not, whatever,
Yeah.
really build something.
Yeah, I think that's what like our goal is. Like, we're just trying to build a future together.
Yeah.
Obviously, marriage will,
Come naturally.
it will come naturally. But we wouldn't go into the relationship without something, without having a future in mind. So yeah. Best ways to manage work-life relationship balance. Already talked about that. So yeah. Since you're asking for questions, why don't you keep your relationship private? This is a good question, Maria. And the quick answer to that is it's actually more trouble to keep it private nowadays, especially if you have a following, than it is to keep it private, right? So like, because I would have to purposely invest energy into hiding her from my audience, from my stories, and I think that would, like, number one, it would be a lot of investment from my side. I think it would also make, like, it would just be weird, right? Because she would be like, why are you hiding me from people? Like, what are you trying to hide? And I think it just flows more naturally. She also creates content herself, and she's really good on camera, even though she's a bit off. She's really good
without characters.
But
anyway.
yeah, and I think like we just have a lot of ideas for content as well that we want to create, and we just have a lot of fun like creating content together. So yeah, it's kind of the age, the world that we live in. It would be just more investment from my side to keep it private, and it would just be weird for her as well.
Yep.
How'd you meet?
Short answer. I saw him and I was like, I want him. That's it.
And cool. We won't get into too much. But yeah, that's pretty much how it happened. How many guys have intimacy? I would say we're pretty healthy on that front. Every day, quite a few times every day. But next question. To Jaime. Nowadays, girls like the bad boys. So what did he do? Question to you: do girls like the bad boys?
That's a very psychology deep question. I could go on and on for hours.
I mean, they do always. I love hearing your rant about this stuff, topics. But do you have like a short answer or explanation?
I think that mostly, even girls or boys, like both ways, they don't want to commit. So it's not that they're looking for the bad boys; it's that they don't want to be vulnerable.
Yeah, vulnerable.
I mean, it's a way to avoid, and also because people are very hooked up on suffering. That's another huge topic. Yeah.
I think that's massive.
Yeah, it's massive. Yeah. I mean, people don't know how to be happy, like stay in happiness and like joy, and like they really, really rather be on suffering and drama and being the pity and like, how do you say, victim?
Yeah, the
victim. Because when you're the victim and you're always like complaining, it's like the easiest way to be because you have all the attention to you. So I mean, it's a huge topic.
Yeah, I think.
But there's a lot of things around this question.
I think psychology has to do a lot with it. Look, the short answer is any girl who likes a bad guy, I don't want to really be with that girl because she's probably attracted to the drama and she feeds off that type of energy. Here's the thing. I think another thing is like guys misunderstand what a bad guy truly is, right? And I did this when I was younger, but a bad guy, I think like girls are attracted to guys who are, maybe I'm wrong, right? But who are on their purpose, who have a certain level of freedom, right? And that's attractive. Who have abundance in their life, whether it's of time because they've got control of their time, they've got control of their finances, how they spend, where they go. So I think more than trying to be a tough guy or a bad guy, right? Focus on being a guy of value, and a guy who is in abundance, on his purpose, doesn't really need anyone, and that's really what attracts high quality people to your life, right? Because that's another thing. Like, yes, you could be this type of person, but you're actually like, if you focus a lot of energy on being a person that you're really not, you're not going to attract the person that you want to be with. Like, it's only when you are truly a closer resemblance of who you truly are that you're going to attract the person that you truly like or you truly want to be with.
Yeah, that's why most of the times when a girl likes the bad guy, it's just an ego thing, and then when the bad guy turns into the good guy, they didn't want him anymore. So it's like, it's never a...
Can you explain so the ego and what's the opposite?
Conscious?
Yeah.
Or, yeah,
Conscious.
just being healthy conscious, I don't know.
Yeah,
But yeah.
like being tapped into your actual energy.
Yeah, not into the mind games and the ego games, you know, that I want what I can't have just because I need to feed my ego and that gives me that validation. So I'm seeking the validation and that gives me this adrenaline and this, you know, like, but then that's not a relationship, it's just like...
Yeah, it's not sustainable.
No. You are never gonna build something like that.
Cool.
Just destroying things.
How does the age difference affect your dynamic?
Who do they think is younger? I mean, I'm very curious about
Leave
it.
it in the comments.
Leave it in the comments, yeah.
If you're watching this on the premiere or whatever, or replay, just leave it in the comments right now who you think is it's older.
Because there's a couple of years.
There's a bunch of years difference.
Yeah.
But the answer is you are.
We're gonna answer it now?
Yeah, I mean, how many years old are you? Close to
3.
Close to 3. Well, you're 1996. I'm 1999. So there's definitely an age difference there. I don't think it affects anything at all. Look, age, and
I mean, he's way mature from most 30-year-old guys I've met. So.
But when you met me, you were like, "Oh, this guy's gonna be the typical young guy."
Because you were dressing with a hoodie and he's like whatever.
So no, but when she met me, she always told me this. Like she thought, "Oh, this guy's gonna be the typical, young guy who doesn't want anything serious, doesn't want to settle. It's just fucking around, pretty much."
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, that was my first impression, actually. Yeah.
But yeah, so it doesn't affect it at all, and I say this even for SMMA, for anything in life. Like, guys, age sounds cliche, but it's just a number. Like, it's not about how many years you've lived, but like how many years you've learned and developed yourself. Like that's what it truly comes down to. So yeah. How do you handle your work time and girlfriend? If I get busy, my GF doubts on me. Do you wanna mention anything on like why her girlfriend may doubt him when he gets busy?
I don't know. I mean, what do you think about like what?
I think it probably it comes down to like she doesn't understand what you have to communicate like what your ambitions are, right? And I think like talk to her about it and get her to support that one thing. Obviously, make time for her, right? And understand what she also needs. So you just understand like what each of you actually need, and just working around that. If all of a sudden like you've gone from like spending all the time with her to now you're starting your business and you want to go like hardcore, 12 hours a day, you don't even text her and stuff like that, then she might be like, what is this, right? Because she's come to there's like you haven't set expectations, but as long as you set expectations and everyone's on board with that, I think it should be fine.
Yeah, it's just communication again is the key. But also, I mean, we've talked about it. It's difficult to be with someone who's not on your rhythm, on your pace. Like if you're a very, very busy guy or like very into your work and you're with someone who is not doing anything or just like messing around, it's gonna be hard for sure.
So. I think that's so key. Yeah. Find someone who's as busy as you, and then you won't have trouble with this.
I mean, it's not only to be busy. I think it's to have clear to be with someone who has his life, apart from you. Because otherwise, you're gonna be with someone you are everything for them, and it's very hard to give everything that they ask for. But you know my point.
I think it's the difference between like being codependent. So 1 + 1 equals 1, right? So that's most people. They're codependent. Like without each other, they cannot exist, right?
Exactly.
But the key is to be, I think, it's interdependent. Whereas 1 + 1 is 11, right? Like you come together, or 1 + 1 equals 2, right? Like
one way, another way, and they're good together, but they have their own, and they are happy already. They are fulfilled. They are not expecting the other one to fulfill their needs and stuff like that. So.
That's nice. I think as soon as you seek happiness in the other person, you're done.
Ciao, ciao.
I think it could only like add happiness to your life. Like she definitely adds a lot of happiness to my life. But if you're not good yourself, then you're gonna be, too dependent on your own well-being, and that's not healthy.
And it's a lot of pressure for the other person.
Yeah. Cool. How do you react to your entrepreneurial busy lifestyle?
Yeah, answered already.
Cool. How do you find time to manage your love life and at the same time your work? Already answered this. Who wears the pants in the relationship?
I mean, it's funny because we were both very dominant. So now we are learning to have an equal, balanced relationship, which I think is the main goal for every relationship, It's not one in top of the other one and like a constant fight, but to learn how to be like this all the time, So.
Yeah, I think that's so key. Like I think.
And it's hard. I mean, it's very hard.
It's hard. I mean, we're still working on it. But it's like.
And we have strong personalities both, so.
We have very strong personalities. So yeah, I think like it just gets so tiring and so exhausting because like it's constantly this like you're in your head like.
Power fight.
Yeah. Will this make me look weak? Will this make me submissive? And it's just leave that at the door. And we're not competing.
No, you're a team.
We're a team. So yeah. Do you guys live together? No. She does spend a lot of time here. Love. But no, she lives in Barcelona. Does she have a business too?
Yeah, I already explained it.
Yeah, so she has her own business. Pretty cool stuff. What's her favorite thing about you? What is it? You already told me.
Yeah, discipline.
I was expecting something else.
Among others.
What is the biggest motivation you can give to the couple who are struggling? I think figure out what each of you wants in life. If that is aligned, right? If that is aligned, then figure out how you can work around those objectives, those purposes. Make sure that you're good yourself, and just work as a team. Really.
Yeah, and try to find out the real reason why you are together. Because sometimes it's because you cannot be alone, or because you share like a trauma or whatever. But try to go deeper, because otherwise maybe you're gonna be stuck in something that is not what you really want, but it's just what you're stuck on it. Like
Word. Most annoying thing about the other person.
Most annoying thing. Yeah. I mean,
what?
Because he's always like, where is this? But maybe it's in front of him, but he hasn't even looked at it because he's very busy. He's always like rushing, but it's like you have it in front. Like, where are the AirPods? And they're there, and I have to come the other way around from the house to find and give it to him. But that would be the thing. And you?
Most annoying thing. I think she always tells me to turn on the heating.
So
look, I like to work in a bit of a chill temperature.
I'm very like.
And the thing is, I've got heatings in like individual rooms, but we're gonna have to turn on the whole house. But anyways, that's fine.
In the middle of winter, 4 a.m. in the morning, we wake up and he opens all the doors, like all the windows, and I just came out from the shower, like wet. But I was never cold, so like sick. So.
Yeah. Okay. Next question is: what's Jaime's habit that you hate? We already mentioned one, but.
Well, actually, when he switches the water from hot to cold in the shower, not a big fan.
Yeah, just not a big fan of cold showers. Cool. Next question is, love someone and my ambition was never understood by him. How do you find someone like that? Any recommendation?
But what's like the question is where?
No, how do you find someone like that? Is there any specific place?
I mean, I think you don't. There's not a point in the map where you can. Otherwise, you will have all your audience like going there.
Looking for that person,
yeah,
but
spotted, massive audience. No, I think you don't find it, like you don't chase it or you don't look for it. It's important. It will come. Like you will have the experiences you need to live. So
yeah, I think when you're resonating at that frequency, at a higher frequency or a frequency that you resonate with, like you will just attract that type of people into your life. I think when you start looking for it, it won't come, or it'll just kind of resist it, right? Because whatever, just don't look for it. It'll come. All right. Can a person spend his life alone without a partner, just work and chill? What do you think?
I think yes and no.
Why?
I mean, you can spend like a lot of time alone, and we've both been lone wolves a lot of time. But I think it's a very cool experience to date someone and it's like a very close connection, and you're very able to be all the time like, I don't know, like for me it works like a mirror, so you're all the time seeing, for example, if something annoys me from him, I can see like why this is annoying me, and it's like a very cool experience to grow very fast. I think it's catalyzer or whatever.
Yeah. Catalyst for change.
Yeah, exactly.
I think as you said, like I mean, first of all, like I know where this question's coming from, because we've both been there. Where you're a lone wolf, maybe you're an entrepreneur, you think like you don't need anyone in your life, like you're a strong, independent man or woman, one man or a woman on your purpose. But at the same time, I just think it's part of like human nature. So I would say like once you've really worked on yourself, once you've like developed like a lot of self-awareness, right? Once you've gone on that journey to achieve your goals, obviously it's never it's never a completed journey, but I think it's just a really cool experience to share time and your life with someone and grow that, right? And grow like that partnership and that relationship. Obviously, and it's also really cool to like feel what love truly feels like. I'm sure you've got love for your family, your friends, but I think it's a completely different game. So I think it adds like a whole new dimension to your life that work could not. I think it's just a combination. Like I don't think you have to pick one or the other. Like why not? Why not? That's another thing that I think society like unconsciously like tells us, like, oh, you either can like be a family man or woman, or like you can
like they
thrive.
put you a tag.
Like a tag or and alright, an identity, but like no, you can be a lot of things. Like you can have a thriving relationship, you can have a thriving business, you can thrive, in your fitness, whatever it is, right? Like you can be a well-rounded person. I would say like you have to, across your life, you have to just focus on one thing at a time more than the others to rule them equally.
There's a time for everything.
Yeah, I think there's a time for everything, but I think it's a really cool thing that you can bring into your life.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that wraps it up for this couples Q&A. It was a pretty long one, but I think we answered a lot of juicy questions. If you guys enjoyed the video, what do they have to do?
Like? No?
Yeah. Drop a like. Make the great, ugly looking like button.
Subscribe.
Turn blue. We'll see you in the next one. Are you gonna start a YouTube channel?
I don't know, maybe. I don't know what to talk about in my YouTube channel. So.
But you can catch her on I tag her on my stories all the time. But yeah, she's creating really cool content as well. And yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.